There are two separate messages that are tied together today, in today's spread, in today's reading. First, imagine that you are the phallus and everything around you is the womb. Sit with that for a second, because this is the energy of the day. This is the type of time we're on today. Number two, go feral. Just go. Obviously, you guys can see I have my makeup partially done. We're gonna go ahead and finish this get ready with me. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my makeup while we discuss all of this energy, because this energy is energying. All of the products I'm using will be listed in the description box. None of them are affiliate links yet, but if anybody wants to hit me up, feel free, because you girl, we plotting on to come up, okay? I pulled cards yesterday for a totally separate purpose and I ended up kind of getting what I needed without actually referencing the cards, and now I see why, because this morning the cards were still laid out, and the Four of Pentacles, even yesterday, as soon as I pulled it out, it spoke to me and it said go feral. And that's not something that I normally get with Four of Pentacles. Obviously, Four of Pentacles is usually about safety, security, saving, sometimes hoarding. Definitely not about being feral. But this message came specifically from the Four of Pentacles in the Manara Tarot. If you're seeing this video on YouTube, I will not be able to show those cards because that is a very spicy deck. If you're seeing it on OF, then cool to you. You get to see the spread. But yeah, the message was literally go feral, because it started out with the Three of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. And if you know anything about tarot, you know that those are very hard energies. So whoever this message is finding, and if it's resonating already, or if you feel like that's something that you need to do is go feral, life has not been easy for you. Literally, the cards are saying it. Three of Swords is all about like some sort of deep core wounding, to the point that it even changes our behavior, like changes who we want to be, and kind of makes us conform sometimes, makes us fit into these little boxes that we're told are safe, but really, you kind of got to grow up and find out that that's a scam. But yeah, it's basically just deep wounding, and that can look a lot of different ways. For me, it usually kind of comes back to childhood, but it can also just reference wounds that have sat for 20, 30, 50 years. And it may be those types of wounds that never really get healed. You just kind of have to get over it. Or find something else to do with it, or change yourself in order to be okay. It's like there's a lot with the Three of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles is all about feeling like an outsider, feeling like you're left out in the cold, like the structures and systems that be are not for you, they're not here to serve you. Sometimes not even your family and friend groups. It just feels like you're just outside, and no matter where you try to fit in or find your place, there's just no place for you. And outside of that, Five of Pentacles, this specific one in the Manara Tarot, also comes with a message of power dynamics and people feeling like they're superior, and maybe wanting to kick you while you're down, or feeling like they're better than you because they're finding you while you're down. They're not finding you at your best. A lot of things coming up with Three of Swords and Five of Pentacles. And ultimately, both of those energies can leave you feeling very lonely. So if any of that resonates, this message is absolutely for you. Life has been hard. It's time to go feral. It's time. For some of us, it's actually time to get angry. For some of us, the ferality, I don't even know if that's a word, but it's a word right now, okay? For some of us, the ferality is anger. Some of us just need to get angry. We need to have the conversation, cuss the person out, maybe not actually, but use your discernment, maybe. Some of us need to have the conversation. Some of us need to stop caring and just do the thing that we've been wanting to do, pursue the dream, the goal, the project. Whatever feral looks like for you, it's time to go. It's time to go there. And this message is timeless, but I am recording right now in Aries season 2026. So there's a lot about just beginning, like just getting it done, and also not needing to be perfect, because that's another thing that's kind of coming through with the go feral. It's like screw structure, because structure, systems, all of that, if this is finding you, that's not your operating ground. You may find that like whatever type of group you try to become a part of, you don't quite fit. Kind of going back to that Five of Pentacles energy. It's like you could find the most left of center group, and at the end of the day, when you get there, you realize, oh, I still don't really fit here either. There's a reason for that. Because you're not meant to fit. You're meant to be feral. You're meant to be outside of the boxes and standards and stereotypes. You are meant to do your own thing and be your own person, and kind of like forget the structure, because the structure has not served you. If you're here with me, because I'm setting the intention that this video finds who it's meant for. So if you're here with me, the structure wasn't built for you. And even if you try to build a structure / formula / like a mode of operation for yourself, you might find that eventually that gets bland. That just doesn't work. It's because you're meant to flow. You're meant to be feral. You're meant to really just be who you are on any given day. So go feral. Do the thing. Have the conversation that you need to have. And be great. Be great. Have fun with it. For my community that's finding this on YouTube, I will put screenshots of the other cards, because I did pull the same cards. Like the Manara Tarot was truly just a card pull. And then the other tarot that I have here for YouTube is the Radiant Wilds Tarot. Radiant Wilds Atlas Tarot, I'm sorry. That one, I basically intentionally pulled the exact same cards from that deck to see if I could get the same message or if it would come out a little differently for my YouTube community. And it kind of is saying the same thing. There's a lot of lonely energy with that Three of Swords and that Five of Pentacles. In both decks. The one thing that I am getting differently from the Radiant Wilds Atlas is the need to confront it. And I don't know what it is, but the Four of Pentacles in that deck, it's facing the opposite direction of the Three of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. So those two are facing this way. The Four of Pentacles is facing this way. And so it's almost like a face-off, like all of those things that hurt you, that made you feel bad, that made you feel shame, that made you feel like an outsider, like you didn't fit, like you don't belong here, like there's no space for you, the structure isn't for you. All of those things you're supposed to confront. And it's interesting because even though I got the word confront, the image on the card is actually very soft. I need to find, here we go. Yeah, the image on the card is very soft, very like self-secure, still alone, but also willing to kind of look at those things that may have set that person in the wrong direction earlier. So some of this is kind of talking about shadow work. For me, I know a lot of the things. I feel like everybody is a whole universe, so I don't know if there's any way for me to fully know myself, because I just feel like every time I do a past life regression or a meditation or a tarot reading, there's always more information for me to learn about myself or think about myself. And I feel like that's the same for everybody if you really take that journey. I need to take a breath. I'm over here cooking. I don't know whose idea it was for me to do makeup while doing these readings, knowing that when I cook, like when my eyes start watering, and that happens a lot during readings, it might mess up the makeup, but we're just gonna hold it in. I've been doing a pretty good job these past few videos. Anyway, what was I saying? I'm sorry, y'all. yeah, there's just this energy here of like maybe needing to confront. But it's interesting because it is saying like confront it gently. And a lot of this, especially with the Radiant Wilds, feels like it might need to happen internally. You do get to choose your message though, because from the jump at the very beginning, it kind of felt more like this is outward, like an outward confrontation, like with the get feral, get angry. And some of us as well, it may be kind of a mixture of the two. You may have to get angry in order to get moving, you know? You may have to get angry at being underpaid. Not to the point where you like quit your job, but to the point where you start looking for other jobs, or you decide to build a job for yourself because you're not getting anywhere. And I can say that that is my experience. I have applied to so many places and I've gotten denied, and then the jobs that are available either don't pay enough, they sound bland as hell, or both. It's like, so you can't even give me fulfilling work. You can't pay me enough. You can't ensure that I will care about the job, because most of these jobs are just to make another corporation rich. Like you can't do anything for me, so let me do it for myself. And that is where I am today, doing things for myself. But it's like kind of a mixture of the two. Like, you don't necessarily have to burn the structure or the system down in order to find your way out of it. There's something about getting just angry enough to get you moving, but not angry enough to self-sabotage, because that is kind of like something that could happen with anger. You could end up in some situations that you don't need to be in. But again, if you're here, if this message is truly resonating for you, and like it just happened to find you, yeah, if this message is truly for you and it's resonating, I feel like you don't have anger issues. I feel like you're very good at controlling your anger, probably to your own detriment, because then you end up having all of these pent up feelings that aren't getting out. You're not expressing yourself because you're worried about other people and their feelings. And and I feel like that's why this message is coming out. It's for a collective that is or has historically been a very people pleaser sort of energy, or at least very quiet. In the sense of like, if you're happy, you're willing to share that. And actually, no, even as I say that, it's like I'm getting like heart chakra. The heart chakra has been talking a lot. And it's so interesting because what I'm wearing is the outfit I'm going to wear for our Guns N' Roses video on OnlyFans. And when I think about roses, you know, they are beautiful, they are soft, people love the smell of them, they are associated with love and Valentine's Day and all of these romantic things, but they also have thorns. And the thorns are supposed to represent boundaries and healthy boundaries. So there's a lot coming up about tapping into that softness, but also like making it clear who you are and what you're capable of and what you're going to do and what you're not going to do and what you're going to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate, and how you're going to move into the next chapter of your life. Go feral. Go feral. Stop holding yourself back so much. If you guys have been here with me on my channel, you know that I did not used to talk like this. I used to really chew over my words, comb over my words, make sure I was interpreting things correctly. What I've learned, and one thing y'all should know about tarot, is that nothing is set in stone. So like, this is what I'm seeing from the cards. Y'all can see something totally different, which is part of the reason why I like to include the spread throughout the readings. But also, you know, if things don't resonate, that just means I'm not your reader. It doesn't mean that tarot isn't for you necessarily. It doesn't mean that you have bad relationships with it. It just means maybe I'm not your reader, and that's okay. But I think I used to try to overcompensate and like make it work for everybody, or interpret things in a way that everybody would understand. And what I'm learning is that everybody's not meant to understand me. Cooking. Why do we do this with makeup? I love it here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm complaining, but I love it here, honestly. Yeah, everybody's not meant to understand the way that I interpret tarot. That just helps people filter out who their reader is, who their tribe is, and it also helps me connect with the people who are supposed to hear me and who my tribe is. So instead of trying to like filter through every single interpretation and make it palatable for people, I'm gonna just put it how it needs to be put. And if it makes sense to you, great. That means you're probably supposed to be here for one reason or another. And if it doesn't make sense, you might still should be here if you're enjoying it. Even if it doesn't make sense, but you're enjoying it, cool. If none of that is relevant, it doesn't make sense, you're not enjoying the content, then it's just not for you, right? So there's something about that. Go feral, go primal. I'm getting the strength card in my brain. Which the strength card did not even come out here. But that's what's coming up. It's like, you're not supposed to be everyone's cup of tea, but you are certain people's shot of whiskey, or shot of tequila, or glass of water, whatever. No, because everybody drinks water, or should be drinking water. Everyone's body is 70% water. So if people are not drinking water, so not water, because you're not for everybody. But maybe you're somebody's glass of Kool-Aid, you know? Because even with Kool-Aid, I just learned people make stevia Kool-Aid. Who knew? Anyway, all that being said, I just feel like it's time. It's time to stop holding yourself back. It's time to stop being palatable. It's time to express all the things that need to be expressed within you. And I do feel like there's a lot there. That being said, there kind of was a part 2 of this spread when we got to the Oracle cards. And this is a mix of decks from Rebecca Campbell. I know one of them is the Rose Oracle. And then the other cards, I honestly don't know which Oracle they came from. I mixed all 3 of my Rebecca Campbell decks. So there's the Rose Oracle, the Starseed Oracle, and the Work Your Light Oracle. 2 of the cards definitely came from the Rose Oracle. So roses are heavy energy right now, in the sense like they're very present. So some of you may want to look into like getting some roses, and specifically looking at different colors. Like I have red roses on my dress, but look at the different colors of roses and see which one really resonates with you and what you need right now. But it may be helpful to connect with that energy of learning how to love, and love with boundaries, how to love yourself, learning that love does not necessarily mean you hold yourself back. And if it requires that of you, is that really love? Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, so sorry. The second message that came up with these Oracle cards was, and don't ask me how I got here. I truly can't remember, because I can't, the cards are all the way over there on the floor. I'm over here minding my business. But the message was very clear, and it was like, ooh, I don't know how I can say this for YouTube. So I'm going to say it for OnlyFans first, because that's the easiest one, and then we'll come back to YouTube. So imagine that you are your whole body. Imagine that your whole body is a phallus, and everything around you, everything in the room around you, everything in your workspace, like wherever you are, just imagine that everything around you is the womb. What can you create from that space? All right, so for my innocent YouTube community, imagine that imagine that you are I'm getting quite a few though. Okay, so imagine, my lovely YouTubers, imagine that you are a wand, and everything around you can be used to create your reality. So like, for example, imagine that you are a whisk, and everything around you is the bowl that the whisk goes in. Now the question is, what do you want to put inside the bowl? Do you want to put cookie dough? Do you want to put cake batter? Do you want to put pancake batter? Do you want to put salad? Like, what do you want to put in this bowl? So yeah, it's just like, you are the wand. Everything around you can be used to create what you want to do and where you want to go. This is getting into some divine masculine energy, which is beautiful, because both divine masculine and divine feminine have been kind of like tit for tat, going back and forth with the messages. And it's funny as well, because divine feminine energy did come up in the Oracle card with the Hathors, and we'll get to that. But the divine masculine energy is action oriented. That is its purpose. Whereas the divine feminine is creating and attracting. The divine masculine is taking action on those ideas, on those creations, on those intuitive insights. The issue... We're cooking. So sorry. The issue with masculine energy, and when the divine masculine turns toxic, is when we're taking action either without regard to the feminine and to what we have intuited and kind of like attracted in our reality now. That's one way to go toxic. The other way to go toxic is when you're taking action with the belief that you have to force a result, when really the result is already there. I feel like this might be a topic for another video. I truly feel like it might be a topic for another video. That's why I like the analogy that I can say on OnlyFans, but it's really hard to find a way to put that on YouTube because they just demonetize everything. And it's not like my channel's monetized yet, but y'all, I got big dreams and I'm on my way. I ain't playing with y'all no more. I'm not playing. So it's like everything that is in your reality now is already kind of pointing you in a certain direction. And so there's no need to force, because the result that you're looking for is already in existence, right? Like everything, everywhere, all at once. It already exists. And so when you can just trust that it's going to happen, you can take healthy action. You can take aligned action. You can take action from a good energy instead of from a desperate energy, because that's another thing as well. That's another way that masculine energy goes toxic. It goes toxic when you're taking action from the wrong feeling. So if you're taking action from a desperate place, the result of that, like, you may get movement, but you're breeding potential for more desperation to ensue in the future from whatever you've just created or took action on. So it's a very subtle, like, mindset shift that kind of has to happen. Long story short, you are the magic. Everything that you want already exists. And you are living magic. I don't know how else to say that. I don't know if this is like reading as deep as I want it to. I do have to go look at those cards again, because there were definitely other things that came up. But that was the biggest one, and I feel like it's so... Sorry, my YouTube community, because I don't know how else to translate it in an appropriate way. But if you're finding me on OnlyFans, if you're finding this video on OnlyFans, it is... I just feel like that's such a good analogy. You are the phallus. I feel like that girl from House Bunny. The eyes... No, wait. What was it? The nipples are the eyes of the face. What the fuck? What did she say? Was it that the nipples are the eyes of the face? That doesn't make sense. She said something. She said eyes are the nipples of the face. I'm pretty sure that's what she said. That's how I feel. You are the phallus. You are the phallus, and everything around you, every room you walk into is the womb. So what are you creating with the things that are already there, with the people that are already there, with the energy that is already there? What are you creating? I'm definitely getting magician energy, master manifester energy. Magician is even a little kind of misleading for what they're saying right now, because the magician holds a wand. And what I'm getting is that you are the wand. You are the action. You are the bibbity bobbity boo. And everything around you is just a resource to get you to your highest timeline, your highest good, whatever that thing is that's far out there that you want. So what are you doing? What are you going to do? What actions are you going to take to really make those things happen? The action that you're going to take is you're going to go feral. You're going to stop holding yourself back. You're going to stop worrying about wrong versus right. And even if you want to like think about that, like who actually set those standards, you know? Who actually determined and said this is right and this is wrong, and why would they do that? Who's that helping? Your beliefs, your morals, are they actually yours, or were they given to you? And if they were given to you, do you still agree with them? And I think to figure out if you still agree with them or not, it would be helpful to see whether or not they serve you. Are they actually helping you to be a thriving, better person of yourself, or are they just keeping you small? You know? I'm going to leave that there, because I feel like if you're here, you already know shadow work a little bit. You don't really need too much more assistance there. I hope. But yeah, go feral. There is a lot of inner child work coming up as well, because we come here knowing exactly who we are and what we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to communicate. And then we're shamed into thinking about other people and how they feel, or what's right, what's wrong, or, you know, what's morally acceptable, where you're going if you do that, you know? Like we're shamed and guilted into forgetting ourselves. So there is a lot about inner child work coming up as well. Maybe even doing things that you enjoyed as a kid, getting back to those. One thing about me, I have always loved anything creative. I have always loved anything with color. So here we are. Oh, that's pretty. Y'all. I feel like this one got like, it's okay. We're just gonna add, because I do want them to match. And I feel like the other eye got like, let me go look at these cards really quickly, because I know I've forgotten some stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I know I have, because I looked at them this morning, and it's been a morning. I looked at them early this morning. I don't think I'm gonna need any more blush. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the oracle cards, because we are closing in on this look. I feel like the rose thread, the one in the middle, is actually probably the clearest. It says inner call, soul-led, the mystic, living courageously. That's literally what we've been talking about the whole time. Go feral. That's the same thing. And you know what? What's funny is I haven't even looked up the word feral, and that's not normal for me, because that's not a word that I use. Like, I mean, I use it a lot, but you know how you know a word, but you don't know the technical definition of it? I don't want the AI. Yes, give me Merriam-Webster. Give me the actual dictionary definition. Of relating to, excuse me, of relating to or suggestive of a wild beast. The word beast did come up for me yesterday as well. I kind of like the second definition a bit more because I feel like we can apply it a little better to ourselves. So 2A says not domesticated or cultivated. 2B says having escaped from domestication and become wild. This word domesticated is really interesting. This is like, again, coming back to the strength card, it's like another way of saying civilized. As a kid, you knew exactly who you were supposed to be when you got here. And then society, civilization, beats it out of you, shames it out of you, punishes it out of you, to the point where you forget. And then, you know, if you're taking a spiritual path like I am, which I assume you are because you're here, then you end up having to spend part of your adulthood trying to get back to it. It's like so much wasted time due to the indoctrination. That kind of did come up as well with the Three of Swords though, and it almost made me cry. This was like before I started recording. I was just thinking over the message. And with the Three of Swords, Five of Pentacles, and Four of Pentacles, it very clearly came through that your whole life has been leading you up to this point. Your whole life, the good, bad, ugly, beautiful, has been leading you up to this point. So even though it feels like wasted time, and I was just reminded of that message, even though it feels like wasted time, it really isn't. Whew. Stop it. My makeup is so pretty. I don't want to cry. If y'all know me, y'all know I cry for fun though. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Hold on. Not today. Because this makeup needs to live all day. Life hasn't been easy. But it's all been for something. It's all been leading you up to this point where you can go feral and be exactly who you are. I just got the phrase pain to power, and that's exactly what it is. If you just sit with the pain and let it be that, it can almost take you out sometimes. But if you can understand that you never lose, you only learn, and see the pain for, it's like a representative of how strong you are, because everybody wouldn't be able to go through the things you've gone through, feel the things you felt, and still be here. Like a lot of people, because life beats them up so much for being sensitive or crybabies or for just being who they are, whatever that is, they end up turning into, it's not that they end up leaving per se, or that the pain takes them out, but in a sense it does, because it makes them a worse version of themselves. They end up closing their heart chakra. They end up maybe becoming mean or angry or whatever the case is. And that's not actual strength either, because now you've just allowed the world to change who you really are. That's not strength. That's actually weakness. You just let the world win. And I'm not saying that as a judgment, because I've been there. Trust me. I have definitely been like, you know what? I'd rather not feel anything than feel pain again. Because if you can feel joy, you can also feel pain. You know, if you're closing your heart chakra, and you know what? That was also confirmation. My bad. If you're closing your heart chakra from feeling pain, then you're also not feeling the good stuff. If you're opening your heart to feel the good stuff, then there's a chance that you could feel some pain. But true strength is knowing that you could get through it. Like whatever comes your way, you could get through it. You already have. Forget the rules you were taught, and honestly, if you don't want to forget them, that's fine, but at least ask if they're even serving you, if they're even actually for you, or if you were just kind of scammed. And it's okay if you were. Most of us were. You're not alone in that. But yeah, that rose thread is just very clear to me. The reunion says soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, and friendship. And honestly, with this, especially since we've been talking about inner child work, I'm kind of getting Six of Cups energy. So a lot of this feels like it may be internal, like finding those pieces of yourself, finding those pieces of like who you were before the world got to you. This could, of course, also be coming into alignment with your tribe, finding people who have the same vision, like really finding a place where you fit, especially since we considered, or since we started the reading with that Five of Pentacles energy, which was basically a feeling of not fitting anywhere. So this could absolutely be like other people coming into your reality. But even if that's the case, it's because you have allowed and found space for all of you within yourself. Does that make sense? It's like even if this soul recognition is happening in the 3D with other people, Spirit just wants you to also recognize that that is able to occur because you freed up space within yourself to truly be who you are and to truly love who you are and to express who you are without all the limitations and the barriers and the need to people please and XYZ. It's like you're finding your tribe externally because you have come back to self internally. So I'm kind of getting both messages. You could kind of take that one however it resonates for you. But truly for a lot of us, it could be happening on both levels. And then the Hathors, we the Hathors. Deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. That birth as a portal is bringing me back to the OnlyFans version of you are the... Something is guiding me to read the book for that one, so I will do that. And then we actually have a lot about birthing. So again, go feral, do that thing, that project, have that conversation. There are a lot of ways to give birth. It doesn't just have to be to kids, but if that's how it resonates for you, then go do that too. Why not? I mean, the world is packed and there are already people who have left their children, but you can go have more. Feel free. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I really feel like this is more so like for projects, but again, take it how it resonates. A lot about birth coming up, which is so interesting too, because again, we have we the Hathors, which is that feminine energy. Then we have the divine masculine that showed up with the whole analogy that Spirit gave me for OnlyFans. And then when you think about it, you do need masculine and feminine to give birth to a child, a human baby. Again, this doesn't have to be in regards to kids though, but there is this interplay of all the energies conspiring and working in our favor right now to birth a new age. That's just beautiful. It is the time to be who you were always meant to be. Those detours may have felt like a waste of time, but they weren't. Even those humbling experiences gave you a strength of character, you know? Fuck it. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. All right. What is the... I need to find this deck, because this is the one that we the Hathors is in. So let me go find that guidebook really quick. Some of us may want to connect with Hathor, an Egyptian Nether. I'm not going to lie. I'm not as familiar with the Egyptian pantheon, but what I do know about Hathor is that she's very motherly, very nurturing, but she can switch gears and like transform herself, for lack of a better word, into Sekhmet. So Sekhmet and Hathor, if I'm not mistaken, are two sides of the same coin. And Sekhmet is not to be fucked with. Sekhmet is warrior energy. She does not play. She will shed blood. And once she gets a taste of that blood, she wants more. So I kind of love this play of the strength card that keeps coming through. It's like, and I feel like it'll need to change, like depending on the scenario, like what your pharaoh needs to be. And that's exactly as it should be. We're taught that we have to be a certain way in order to get results, when really the way you have to be is dependent upon the room that you're in, the people you're around, the environment. Let me fact check really quick before I read this book, because I don't want to be out here spreading lies, but I'm pretty sure And I am not the only one with this question. Yes, Hathor and Sekhmet are considered two sides of the same goddess in Egyptian mythology, representing a duality of nurturing love, which would be Hathor, and fierce destruction, Sekhmet. So you may want to definitely research Hathor if you're into like goddess, connecting with goddess energy. Anyway, let me go ahead and read this from the book. I'm so sorry. Birth is a portal that ushers in new life. The Hathors are here to remind you that you're a child of the cosmic mother, and you're being called to be held by her deep, never-ending love and embrace. This is a tender, nourishing card, reminding you to receive the deep, deep love of the mother's embrace. The Hathors know that the journey on earth can be rocky and lonely at times, but you're being reminded to rest more deeply in the mother's arms. This is a card of extreme potency, of femininity, of creation, and of birth. You're being called to mother yourself and others too, to surrender to your sacred femininity, to create and surrender to your own creations, to hold and be held. You're being called to remember your place in the web of life and to realize that the cosmic mother is watching you every step of the way. You may be going through a transition right now, moving from one way of being to another. If so, you're being reminded that you're cradled in a sacred container, that you're more held than you can possibly imagine, and you have access to more love than your heart can bear. Here's the reason my ass keep crying. I'm sorry. Whew. All right. If you're struggling in any way, you're being reassured that things will work out. Open yourself to receiving the ever-flowing love of the Cosmic Mother, flooding toward you from every direction. Let it stretch your heart. Starseed activation says, place the card on the portal of your heart and whisper the following. I allow the deep love of the Cosmic Mother to wash over me. I'm loved. I'm held. That just feels like unconditional love. This card, the message, everything about it just sounds unconditional. There was nothing in there about what you needed to be, what you needed to do. It's just, you are loved, you are held. Anyway, that is the message from the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and the artwork by Danielle Noel. I really just felt called to read that one. I feel like somebody needed to hear that. I kind of needed to hear that, but I feel like that may be for one of you guys, and I definitely hope it helped you. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this makeup because we're pretty much done with the messages. Oh, honey. Y'all can't tell me nothing. Wait till I get my money right. Oh! Sorry. Alright. That is... Uh-oh. We gotta take this down really quick. Ah! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright. Well, that's fine. I did not put on mascara. I'm tired. I'm not tired, but ugh. Alright, you guys. So this is the look we're going with today. And that is the message. I certainly hope it helped y'all. Yeah, I hope it helped you guys. It certainly helped me. Got me all in my waterworks cooking. And yeah, if you are seeing the somewhat calmer version on YouTube, I will put the OnlyFans link in the description box if you want to go check that out. I'll probably have that as free content, probably, because yeah, we do other stuff for paid. Anyway, I do hope this message helped, resonated. I just want to thank my spiritual team for giving me this message. I want to thank y'all spiritual team for sending you this way. And thank you guys for listening the whole time, because that was not a short video. Y'all let me know how it resonates, how it's showing up for you, where it applies for you, if you want. And I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, see you later, soul searchers.